As for men outcome at the 2021 International de France, I was spat on with the podium, and I got five out of the top six placements correct. The only person that I had in the top six who finished out of the top six was Andrei Mozelev, who went from ninth place to second place. However, it was not enough to get him in the top six, so he only finished in seventh place. This was a fairly clean event for the men's. Usually, men's are a hot, messy mess. However, this event was pretty clean for the men, for most of the men. I was so happy for Kevin Amos when, after another very difficult short program, he came back and gave us a clean long. He was riding such a momentum last year. I'm not sure what happened to derail him, but I really hope he's able to get back on track. As for the top six, starting out with our winner, Yuma Kagiyama won the event. He was okay with the short, which had an error on the triple axel. This is another short outing that is not clean for Yuma. And unfortunately, the long was also not so clean. Yuma singled his second triple axel, and he had a step out on the quad toe. Honestly, with those two errors on the program, I don't think the presentation score for Yuma should have been only 5 points less than Jason Brown. I felt like Yuma's PCs should have been in the 80s. He would have still won the competition with a nice margin. However, this would have given credit to his technical um outing while also giving credit to Jason for his presentation. I think we really need to figure out a way to balance both. However, as expected, Yuma won this program, won this event, and so now he just has to go back home and start preparing for the Grand Prix final. My baby Shun Sato took the silver here. I was so happy for him. The short was okay with no major mistake, and he really fought in the long. Again, this was not a clean showing for Soto, who singled the triple in his quad toe triple toe. He also had several unsteady landing and unclean calls. However, this was a major improvement for him over Skate America. Although Soto probably won't make the Olympic team this time, I am really looking forward to see how he grows over the next 4 years. Getting the bronze medal was the one, the only Mr. Jason Brown. Again, both the short and the long were not perfect, but this was the closest that I have seen him to getting that quad sow around. A part of me wants to believe that he might be able to get a legitimate quad sow by the Olympic. Now, with a silver and a bronze medal, I'm hoping he could get into the Grand Prix final. However, it may not be enough. We will have to wait and see how things play out at Telecom Cup. At this point, I think Jason's place on the U.S. team is pretty secure. I really cannot see a scenario where the U.S. Skating Federation does not send Jason Brown, because obviously his two programs are the most iconic, epic, Olympic ready program out there and deserve to be seen at Beijing. We'll have to wait and see what happened at U.S. Nationals, but definitely I don't see how they wouldn't send him. Surprise of surprise was Denis Vasiliev. I had Dennis in sixth place overall. However, in the short, Dennis was in second place. That is right. Dennis was all the way up in second place. Dennis is really riding the Olympic momentum and overall finished that competition in fourth place, just a little off the podium. I feel like the other guys are opening the door for Dennis, and he is walking right through it. I really think that if he can continue on this trajectory, we can really see him make a move at European. If the Russians do not come, if Maurici does not come, if the Italians do not come to fully put down, Vasiliev can really make a move and find himself on the podium. Yet another surprise for me, this one a very, very pleasant surprise, was Dmitri Aliev, whom I didn't even have in my top six, finishing this competition in fifth place. The short was a bit of a struggle for Aliev. However, he came back in the long and had one of the cleanest programs that I have seen him do all season. The technical component content was a little easier. However, everything was mostly clean. I hope with this finish, he can refocus himself and go back to believing that he is a contender for the Olympic for the Russian team. Keegan Messing. Oh my God, Keegan Messing. I had Keegan fourth at this event. He ended up rounding out the top six, finishing in sixth place. While a sixth place finish is not ideal, this is also not a major problem for Keegan because he is more or less guaranteed a spot on the Canadian Olympic team. Because really, who else is Canada going to send for men? Also, Keegan is one of those slow and steady type of skaters who builds throughout the season and really shows up at like Worlds, at the Olympic, at Full Continent. He really shows up when he has to show up. So I'm not really concerned with Keegan and his progress. He was not clean in either the short or the clean, but however, neither one of those programs were a disaster. And like I've said, Keegan is pacing himself, which is perfectly fine. So far in the Grand Prix series, the men's discipline has proven to be the easiest on my emotions. All the other disciplines be having me in my feelings for one reason or the other. However, the men seem to be pretty clean cut. Since this was how I predicted the podium to be, I was okay with how the judges place the skaters. How about you? How did your podium look like? Let me know in the comments below.